Hello, guys. Happy Sunday. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Lisa. Hello, Cindy and Lori and Janet and Eileen and Donna. So many of you guys on. Hi, Judy. Hello, Peg and Letitia. We are streaming both on my Sandy McTeer Designs page and my YouTube channel. So welcome, guys. Welcome. It's been a busy week. Do you guys feel like I do sometimes getting ready for the weekend? It seems so short. I mean, you really only have Saturday, right? Friday night and Saturday. And yes, Sunday, church, family time, downtime, whatever, but it's the start of a new week. So I think Friday should also be part of that, right? No work on Friday, no work on Saturday. So happy you guys are here. Hopefully you can see me. It looks like there are a couple little delays over on Facebook. Let's hope that does not continue. I had that the other day, glitching. Yes, and YouTube yesterday, I started out watching Tracy Moreau's live that she had lesson. And I was busy in my studio with other things, but the glitching was a little annoying. So if we've got some glitching going on, I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do. I can just let you know that the replay will be glitch free. How about that? So, so yes, I see it. I know. It's just going to be one of those things, I think. My numbers all looked good when I went on live, so we will see. I'm just going to roll with it. We will go. Oh, it's so aggravating, though. I know it's aggravating for y'all. Believe me, it's aggravating for me and every other artist that tries to come on and share, to have it glitch, especially on a face that's, not so cute. Watch, it'll glitch on that one. So, hi, Barb. Hi, Sharita. What's funny is I just looked at my screen, and when it glitched on YouTube, it did the same glitch on Facebook. So, I'm wondering if it is a server. Well, it's not my server. My numbers looked good, like I said, but my platform that I go through. We'll see. We will see. Going to YouTube. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. Yes, Anne, I saw that. It was kind of annoying, right? There's nothing I can do about it. So we're just going to roll with it. Because like I said, I've got a lot to share and show you guys today. And no, it's not your Wi-Fi, Lisa. It's, I think it is just an overload of people trying to stream. I do know that I use Switcher Studios, and there are a lot of churches that stream on Sunday using that platform, along with others, I'm sure. But on their page, I often see, churches and stuff going, hello, we have glitches. Oh, thank you, Anne. Funny thing is, I left my rollers in too long. I use hot rollers just about every day, and I was busy getting some things ready for today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to look like Shirley Temple. I'd left them in too long. So, hello, Jolene. Hi, Janie. Let's just hope they work themselves out. Better here on YouTube. Well, that's good. Hi, Jana. Hi, Diane. Switch to YouTube. Yeah, you see me there in Oklahoma. I'd love to be in Oklahoma. Going to be in Oklahoma in October, as you know, Gloria. So, hi, Holly from New Brunswick. Great to see you on. All right, well, we're not going to belabor anything because, again, if it continues, the replay, as we have seen, is glitch-free. So the first person to comment on YouTube when it went live was Judy Thacker, and on my Facebook page, Melissa. So you guys message me and let me know what e-packet you want, and I will get that off to you today, okay? So again, Judy, Melissa, e-packet free, first ones to comment. Might not have been the first ones here, but first ones to comment. So just wanted to update you guys too. They're on Facebook, there are stars. On YouTube, in the comment section, underneath it, there's like a little $sign. That money goes to the World's Kitchen. When was it? Maybe 3 lives ago, I told you guys that we were able to donate $567. I rounded it up to 570 to go to that incredible humanitarian, much needed food that is just an incredible outreach from this chef that if you're not familiar with it, just, go check it out. Amazing, amazing. So, hi, Sandra Schmidt, you're in and out. Yes, for John. That's what I'm going to do. Because like I said, I have a lot to share. And what's funny is today's going to be a little, it's going to be different, but it's going to be a challenge because like I have to stand up and put things in the camera's view and tilt my camera because my containers that I'm going to share with you guys that are full of stencils, and it's not even all my stencils, I'm embarrassed to say, it's hard to put it under the camera, which is right there. So I'm going to put them in my chair and scooch back so you'll see me jumping around, moving cameras and whatnot. So yes. Oh, well, thank you, Lucy. Yeah, it's just going to be a glitchy day. So just hang in there with me, okay? So we have giveaways to announce. So last week I did the impasto. If you did not see that live, go check it out on my YouTube channel. We did this amazingly textured seascape along with some other things. And I was going back looking through the comments and someone said, did you have this planned? Because, did you have it planned or are you just an amazing artist? Well, I didn't have anything planned for the day. I just love the product. And you guys have to know, I will never share a product with you that I don't like. If I don't like it, I'm gonna not use it. I love this product. And so I'm gonna be doing some more lives, some more things. Something just flew by my door, caught my eye. I'm gonna be doing some more of these lives, little short tips, tricks, etc. Also doing lots of videos for DecoArt, so they'll have some things, but this is the DecoArt Impasto Acrylics. Amazing paint. And so that live was last Sunday. I'm gonna move that out of the way. And we had some giveaways. So the winner of giveaways, I had the DecoArt Impasto texture cards and a set of the palette knives that I was using. And the winner of those is Sue Braun. Okay, so Sue, message me your mailing address. Don't put it in the comments, just private message me and I will get those out to you. I'm gonna pop those right over there. And then we had stamps. So I had 2 stamps. One was the Moth Study, Tim Holtz, and then also these cute little llama, I love llama stamps. And the winner that came up on the wheel was Vashali. So I have to say, Vashali, when your name came up, I was thankful to know that you were in the States visiting from India because that shipping probably would have been a lot. But anyway, just message me your mailing address of where you want me to mail these, okay? And we will pop those over there. And then finally, we had brushes. And I love when I put the names in and then I see comments and I'm like, oh, she's going to be so happy she won these. These are the Dynasty Filbert brushes. There's a 2, a 4, and a 10. And the winner is Aloha Lisa over in Hawaii. Message me your mailing address and I will get these off to you. All right. I'm not going to throw those. I'm just going to pop those right down there. So, Sue Potts, thank you so very much. So on YouTube, Sue Potts just donated $20. You're a doll. Thank you so much. You know I adore you. Love having you in my membership group. And anyway, thank you. I appreciate that. So sometimes I don't see the stars on Facebook until afterwards. I don't know why. I wish they would do it kind of like on YouTube where they highlight it and it shows the top chat of who donated something. It's just a great way to give, you know, and for a worthy cause. So, okay, let's get on to giveaways for this week. So this week, let me just say and back up a little bit. This past week has been a week for me filled with organizing, purging, feeling uncreative, feeling like I don't know how to paint, just brain block. You guys go through that? But also a week where I decided that every single day after my lesson with my group on Monday, that Tuesday through yesterday at 6 o'clock, I'm done, p.m. Because I'm one of those that I work 24/7. Have you heard that song? Like, I decided not to work a full-time job, and now I work 24/7 or something like that when you start your own business. I am a workaholic. I love to work. I love what I do. But at the end of the day, I felt like I was on a hamster wheel, and I was just, the next day was, got to get it done, got to get it done, got to get it done. That impedes and affects your creativity. So I did some things that I always preach about when you're in that creative rut, that you need a little something to do. I stenciled in my book. I gessoed some pages. I prepped and got ready for my classes with my membership group, which if you're not familiar or know about my membership group, you can go to my website right there, sandymcteerdesigns.com, and just click on that membership tab. So it was just one of those weeks where I wanted to throw everything I painted in the trash, and then I decided I needed to divert my attention to other things that needed my attention. So it all worked out great. Oh, thank you, Robin. You know, we all have our days, and my days were just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I spent it on things that needed to get done, but I am a firm believer that the more you create, the more you create. Did you get that? I should put that on that board up there. The more you create, the more you'll create. It's true. And so when I'm in those creative ruts, when I am talking with my membership group and everything, I'm always, just get out your gesso and gesso a page. Something creative will lead to you being more creative. It's proven. So anyway, trying to organize is just one mess after another. Right, Lucy? And stencils again. And I know I've done a lesson on stencils before, and I'm going to share some things with you that I've done on previous lives. But at the same time, I'm hoping to share with you some creative, innovative ways to store. First off, to organize, which is key. And then to store your stencils. And then just some very basic things on how to use stencils. Because many of you might not use your stencils in your artwork. But I'm going to share some things that hopefully will inspire you to use stencils and look at them differently than something that's, I don't know, an 80s, got to put it on a wall and you got to pounce with the sponge and all that, right? So they are a great tool for decorative painting. And can add so much to a project, but at the same time, they're fantastic for, where's my shoe? Shoes. Hello. I stenciled that background with a Rebecca Bear stencil, and I forgot to put her link up, but I'm going to put it after the live because I love Rebecca Bear stencils. And they're just a great way to put some interest into the background, into your layers, into your design. And so hopefully what I share with you, I'm just sharing what I do. There are many different ways to do things, many different ways to use them. And I could sit here till probably 9 o'clock this coming Saturday. Seriously, that long, showing you all the different things that you could do with stencils. So I'm going to pick just a few things that I love to do and share those with you. Okay. So first off, let's go ahead and take care of some giveaways for this week. So all you have to do is like, comment, and share. Do I have that on there? I think I put that on there. Oh, I just said right here, thank you for liking, commenting, and sharing. So that's all you have to do to enter the giveaways. So I do have a set for one winner is going to get 3 Deco Art stencils. Okay, so look at these gorgeous stencils. And this one has 2 in it. So actually you're getting 4 stencils. So that will be for one winner. Put those over there. And then some of my other favorite stencils are from the Crafters Workshop. Jamie has an amazing company and just super sweet lady and very creative, but she has a lot of artists that do stencils with her. And so I have 3 stencils in the Crafters Workshop line for a second winner. And then my favorite go-to stencil brushes are the Dynasty Stencil Pro. And so for a third winner, there's a set of, there's a 1, a 3/4, and a 5/8 stencil brush. Stencil Pro brush by Dynasty. And I'm not going to throw those on the floor. Those are too precious. Anyway, so again, all you have to do is like, comment, share. If you share, make sure you're allowed to do so in whatever group or page that you're doing it. Don't want you to get your hands smacked. So, all right, let's get started. You guys ready? I'm going to move some things out of the way. And we are going to talk about first how to organize your stencils. Now, this is where I have to stand up and move my stuff. So bear with me. Right, Lisa? They are the best stencil brushes ever. So I love, 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 love them. And if you've given stars on Facebook and I haven't seen it, I'm so sorry. I will go back and look and definitely thank you. Okay, so I'm going to move my chair. And so, stencils. Let's talk real quick about organizing them. I find it's easier for me because I work with several companies. I use several companies' stencils. That it's easier for me to organize them by brand. So let's say Cover Distributing, cdwood.com, Creative Arts Lifestyle, or Studio R12, which both are Patricia Rawlinson, the Crafters Workshop, of course. My line that I do with Tracy Moreau, M2 Square. I almost said squared M2. Hello. But M2 Squared is Moreau McTier. And then, you know, Southern Ridge Trading Company. There are so many others that I love. But what I have found works for me is to organize them like that. But then I'm going to show you a really cool trick to know where you put them. Because organizing is one thing. Where do you find them after that, right? So, I need help to find my honeycomb stencil. Well, and let me just tell you, if I can't find one of my M2 Squared stencils, I'm very bad about going over to my store in my studio and just maybe taking one. And my husband does all my inventory, so I'm like, that was a giveaway. That was a promotional advertisement thing, and I have to write it off. I am missing some stencils, though. I recently did a seminar in New York, and I was like organizing all my stencils, and I can't find them all. So I have a stack somewhere, I'm sure. Or maybe they're still sitting in Sandra Schmidt. Maybe just let me know if they're sitting in the bedroom that I stayed in. So, okay, no problem. Hello, Marlene, my hometown girl from Memphis. All right, so I'm going to stand up and show you what I do first to organize mostly my bigger stencils, okay? So I have to lift it up I'm going to put it up here, but then I'm going to put my camera and just tilt it down. Okay, now these are accordion file holders that you can get from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so let me just hold it up. They're about $12.99. They're accordion, as you can see, like for files. And I organize my stencils in those. Oops, let's get it off the front of that one. But because the weight of the stencils, I have stuff all over me. The weight of the stencils can make them fall forward. I keep them in this Rubbermaid container. Okay, now I'm just going to lean this forward so that you can see. I have all of my 12 by 12 stencils in the back. These are all, these in this container are all of my DecoArt stencils. Did you know that DecoArt sells stencils? Let me see if I have. So right there, DecoArt has a ton of stencils, guys. And you can use that discount code. It's only good for one use. I have hair and stuff all over me. Hello. But anyway, so DecoArt has stencils. And I love, love, love so many of them, but they're all organized by size. For me, it's much easier to organize them by size so that I can see them. And when I show you my reference index, I think it will make more sense. Okay, so these are all DecoArt stencils. Then, I'm gonna move that to the side. That's heavy. I was worried how this was gonna work. Okay, now, on this one, I don't have as many. In the front, I have my DecoArt Craft Smart. Well, no, they're not Craft Smart. They are Value Craft because they're on that craft paper. Let's back out, Sandy. And so they're affordable and they're on this craft paper that I have to tell you guys is paper, right? Now, when you mix liquid and paper, guess what happens? You know, it's going to break down. So what I do with these is I spray them. Do I have it? I do. Okay. Now this one is the matte, but I use the gloss. So I will spray my craft stencils with the gloss spray on both sides. The paper doesn't break down. I've used this one probably 100 times and it's like it's new. This one, I'm going to hold it up because you can probably see the sheen on the craft paper right there. See it, that sheen? So I sprayed them with the gloss spray, whatever gloss varnish that you have, but I love the Americana. All right, let's put that down there. So I kept those in the front for this reason. This thing just fell over. Okay, so in here I have, again, a lot of these are Tracy Moreau and Country Bear. And then I have Lori Speltz. So I have them in sections, all of my Lori Speltz stencils. And then my Cover Distributing stencils that are bigger. I have those in a separate section. And then my Rebecca Bear, which I just have to say has some of the most intricate, beautiful, gorgeous stencils. And I will link her in my comments when we're done, but I want to stick up her right there, RebeccaBear.com. Just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous stencils, okay? And then behind those, I have my larger Studio R12 stencils. I'm not going to push that down because I'm going to ruin it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now, I have to say what I love about Rebecca stencils, other than the design of them, is look at the tab on top. Do you see how the stencil's cut? So there's a tab. It has the name etched into it along with the number. I love that. I love it because it's easy for me to go back and find where they are. Okay, so let's move these out of the way. And let's get to my smaller stencils. Now, I will say, I wasn't sure how this was going to work. I was on the phone with my friend Barb Perkle, and we were talking about it, and I was at Office Depot. And I had thought about putting some tabs on my stencils so that I could find them easily. Now these, I think I could probably sit down and switch my camera. So let me do that and just get back up to you guys. So, all right, let's go right over here to that camera. Okay, so on my M square, this container you can get at Michael's, and it's for cards and whatnot. Tracy Moreau brought it up on one of her lives several weeks ago, maybe even last month or the month before, but I absolutely loved the idea of being able to separate them and label them and say what they were. Now, because this is my line with Tracy, I wanted to be able to find those quicker, and it's the only ones I've done so far, but I do think I'm going to go on all of my 6x6s or smaller stencils. I think I might put a label. So this helps me, I'm going to move that lid. This helps me know where everything is. So when I take out M2, it's labeled. There's my stencil. When I go to put it back, let's say I didn't have a label on it. I have a white piece of paper. You can go to Hobby Lobby or Amazon and get 6x6 origami sheet paper. Okay, and I just stencil it on. I haven't done all of them, but as I'm using a stencil, I'll look in my box and see if it needs to be stenciled. And if it does, then I'll stencil the paper, okay? Like M23 hasn't been stenciled yet. So all of them have this little plasticky feeling tab, and I'm going to show you the tabs that I used, all right? So when I'm done with it, I can put it right back into all of my M squares, or right here. And then I have my Studio R12, which is a bunch of different stencils that are smaller. I have in my bigger container a section of my Studio R12, which is also creativeartslifestyle.com, Patricia Rawlinson. I have miscellaneous stencils. Now, you might think, okay, how are you going to find those? Again, in my system that I'm going to show you, it's easy to find them. I love this stencil. It's a Cat Kerr, C-A-T-K-E-R-R. And I don't have many of her stencils, but I love them. It's under miscellaneous. And then my Southern Ridge Trading Company stencils as well. Let's see if their website is on there. Probably not, but if Deb Antonick is in the comments, or I want to say it is chipboard.ca. They are a Canadian company, woman run and owned, which I love, but at the same time, they ship all over the world. So, but just fantastic stencils, okay? So those are my 6x6s, and I've organized them, I've labeled them. So Southern Ridge Trading, you could also write right on the plastic, no problem. Either with a dry erase marker, I would use a wet erase marker, but I just put a label on it, okay? Now, here's my others. And I'm gonna hold the thing so you can see it. So it is a Simply Tidy card keeper, okay? And then in here, I have my faves as well. I have all of my Tim Holtz stencils, obsessed with his stencils. And then I have, I got this set on Amazon. There were 36 for, oh my gosh, $10.99, I think. What do you do with your, oh, Suzanne, good question. And I have them over to the side. I will pop off and get them in just a second, okay? So there are 36 stencils for $10.99 on Amazon that I got. I don't even know when I got those, months ago. Speaking of, I have a sale going on right now until midnight tonight. And I marked down all of my M2 stencils to $5 and many other things on my site, $5. And you can use that discount code and get an additional discount unless you're in my membership group. Make sure to use that special code because you always get the best discount. All right. Then I have the Crafters Workshop has a line of slimline stencils, and I have a lot of those. So I went ahead and made a separate little section for them. And then the 6x6 Crafters Workshop stencils. My CD wood collage stencils, kept those separate. And then all my CD wood stencils that are, you know, smaller than what I need to put in the accordion file. And again, they're all labeled, easy to find, and, you know, easy to redirect or reorganize if I need to with this system. So use that Michael's coupon or find something that you can store them in. The accordion file works great for my larger than 12 by 12, but like Suzanne asked, I'm gonna run off right here off the camera as I keep talking and get, if I can, I have them on I have these on a big hook, and I'm gonna have to change cameras, but I keep these, actually because they're so heavy, I just keep them on this big metal hook, a little S hook, and a ring. And so all of my bigger stencils I keep on this ring, and I have them hung on a shelf, right on the side of the shelf that I have in my studio, okay? It's easy for me to find those because they're right there, you know, at the ready. And it's just much easier. I tried a clip, and a clip did not work. So if you've got a large stencil, like this one didn't have a hole, I just used a hole punch, punched a hole in it to keep all of my big stencils together. All right, I do have some, oh, let's put that down without ruining those. I do have some like longer stencils that DecoArt came out with at one point, and I just have those flat laying in one of my drawers, okay? Now, that's organizing. You can organize them by size. You can organize them by, let's get that up so my head's not cut off. You can organize them by theme, flowers, seasonal, words, decorative, background, like full background stencils, however it works for you. This system works for me. So, and the reason it works for me is what I do next. So once I've organized them, organize them according to category or business, then find a solution to store them, which I've done with my accordion or my boxes, and then that Rubbermaid container just to kind of keep it contained. Then how am I going to find them from there? So let me come down here, and I know I shared this with you guys on another live, but I have a book, okay? This is my art journal for my stencils. So, and it starts like this. It's just one of my journals that I carry on my website. And what I love about this one is the pages can come out, as you can see here. So I can just, you know, pull the pages out. If you've got a cheap journal, doesn't matter. You can use whatever. You can do it on computer paper for that matter and punch a hole or put it in page protectors, whatever works for you. But I like that I can take them out and work on both sides, okay? So we'll put that to the side. So what I do is I will take my stencils as I get them, and I decorated the cover, as you can see, again with stencils. I will stencil out whatever I have on my palette, leftover paint, etc., and stencil the stencils into my reference index book. So you can have you can see what it is, and I'll have to find one stencil in my stash. I know where it is because it's organized, but I can find it because you look at it and you're like, well, that doesn't look like much until you stencil it out. So I stencil it. I write down whose stencil it is. So this is the Crafters Workshop color wheel and the number. So I know exactly in my storage organized section where to find that stencil. Okay, so all of them. Like I know this one is a Studio R12, but it doesn't have a number on it that I can read, but I can go to that website and find it. All right, so this is my reference book, and I will, whatever colors I have left on my palette, or when I get new stencils in, I like to, and again, this is a great practice if you're like, ugh, I'm just not feeling creative, I don't know what to paint, da-da-da-da-da. Work on your reference book. Take stencils you haven't, stenciled. If you're looking for a border, you can look through it's easier to look through here than to look through 1,000 different stencils to find the one that you're looking for or want, or think that might be a great, thing for your background, but you just spent 3 hours looking for the perfect stencil. It's not going to take you any time to go through your book and look to see exactly what stencil it is that you want, right? I mean, it's full. It's full. It's full. So I could keep going, as you can see. So again, whatever colors you have on your palette, grab some of your stencils. Put this is my second book, by the way, I have to share. Because this one, that's all that's left in my 50-page journal. That's how many stencils I have. And what I shared and showed you guys, like I said, is not all of them. I like stencils. I like using them. I like creating with them. I like putting them into my art. And I'm going to share some tips and tricks with you how I use them and a difference that they can make in your design. Okay, so fantastic resource index book to have. I also do this for my rubber stamps. I have a book that I stamp out all of my rubber stamps so that I can go through my book and see, oh, I didn't realize I had that, buffalo, that's not buffalo check, or those stars. What is that called? I can't think of the pattern. Hello. It's Alabama. Can't think of it. Anyway, but stars, okay? I want something free flowing or leaves or swirls. This is my favorite stencil by Tim Holtz. All right, so great resource for you to keep. And then while you're at it, why not decorate the cover, right? And make it art. So I probably will put like a black border here and do write stencils just so that I know which book is which. So let me just show you the difference between something that just has a plain background and then I redesigned something. And I wondered, okay, I want to put this stencil, this Jardin, I will move that so you can see it, okay? Beautiful stencil that Tracy Moreau has. I actually have them on my website, but I thought I really want to use that stencil in the background, but I'm not exactly sure where. So I stenciled it on a transparency sheet. And that way you can kind of lay it out to see where you'd like to put it or how it's going to look on your design. Especially if you've painted your piece and then you're like, ugh, actually, I think it goes that way. But once you've painted your piece, you might go, oh, I'm not exactly sure where I want to put a stencil. This will definitely help. All right. Karen, great question. Let me go back to that real quick after this, okay? So what I did was I redesigned the painting and I used this stencil. So that way I could decide, okay, I want that there, but then I want to move it over a little bit so that we have a little bit more action going on over here. But transparencies, if you don't, I mean, those are a little on the expensive side. You can use a page protector. You can use vellum as long as you can see through it. Okay. So love, love, love that from, just being able to, is it going to work? Is it not going to be able to work? Same thing with words. Putting words, writing words on a piece is the number one thing I think that most people are unhappy about. I would much rather have a stencil. Now I can hand letter, but at the same time, for ease, for quickness, for crispness, a stencil works great. So being able to see how that's going to work for your design is a great tip using that transparency. All right, let's move that out of the way. Now let's go back to Karen's question, because that was a really good one about blending and stuff. So when I'm doing this, I will usually grab 4 or 5 stencil brushes so that I can use whatever colors I have on my palette. And I had those colors on my palette. Most of these are the new DecoArt 2022 colors. And so I just picked up color and then picked up the next brush, brushed it on, but I brushed it over on the other side as well. So like a little bit of that blue and that yellow made the green that you see there. That's sour apple. That's not a new color. Anyway, but it gives you an idea of how those come together. Now let me see if I can find the one. I don't know if I have it in there. Might be in my other book. The one stencil I was telling you about that you look at it and you're like, well, that doesn't look like much, but you stencil it out and it's like, wow. And it's an old stencil. I don't think it's available anymore. And you're probably like, well, then why are you going to show us? Because we can't get it. It's in my other one. So it is an Andy Skinner stencil, which I love. And I'm going to grab it. And I know that it's one of these stencils, so I'm going to keep it in a stack so I can put them back into my Andy Skinner DecoArt section. Okay, so those. Now they look like faces, right? Because they are. Now, let's get some paper. I'm just going to lift that up. So I'm just working on some journal paper here. Let's come in, because I can always gesso over it. Okay, so some of them just don't look that appealing. You can see that that's the one I use the most. The other thing to think about with stencils, if they're not words, you can flip them and use the other side. It makes your design go the opposite direction. Great thing about that. All right. So let's do, I'm going to get some Payne's Gray. All righty. Hi, Janie. Yes, I'm hoping, like I said, lots and lots of ideas. And I hope that you guys will be inspired to create, organize, and store your stencils. It is time consuming, so do it slowly, like I did with the labeling on my M2 square. You don't have to do them all right now, but just get started organizing them so that you can find them easier. Okay, so that doesn't look like much, does it? But when you brush over it, hello. Is that not gorgeous? I mean, there's a face that you could, you know, draw and sketch, and there's your face, right? It's just one of those stencils that doesn't look like much until you stencil over it. Hello. I mean, it's gorgeous. Okay, now brushing them out into your book and your reference will give you an idea of what they look like. Because when you look at this, you're going to go, I don't know if that's going to work. That doesn't look like much. All right, now I'm going to jump around a little bit because this is a good opportunity for me to show you how I clean my stencils and my brushes. Okay, and then we'll do a couple other little favorite ways that I love to create with stencils. So you have several things that you can use. Soap and water. You can just stick them in a sink of water or a tub of water with some detergent, mild detergent, and let them soak. My favorite way is to use several different cleaners. So one is the Deco Magic Brush and Stencil Cleaner. And I put one of the pumps that DecoArt I'm not sure that these are available. You can get on Amazon and find a sprayer, or go to, you know, Walmart or anywhere else and get one of those little mister spray things and just measure it as long as it fits that top. And I will just kind of squirt that out and wash my stencil brush along with my stencil. And I want to just use soft circular motions, because if anything is very delicate or intricate, you can bend it. You can ruin a stencil by being a little aggressive with it. So, but anyway, if you just kind of rub that on. Now, for peskier things, as you can see when I pulled it out, that black paint's been on there a while. And I used this recently at my seminar in New York, so I know that there's some styling paint on here, which has a built-in sealer. So that might cause it to be a little bit more difficult to come off, like that right there. So I'm going to rinse this in water. And this is magic. It is. It's a magic eraser. So you can come in with a magic eraser as long as there aren't really intricate parts that you could mess up or tear off. Just be careful. But you can come in and that magic eraser is going to take off that paint. Look how, I mean, it's amazing, right? Now this is just paint, and I don't wash all of my stencils every single time I use them. I have many that need to be washed, and as I encounter them to use them for a project, I will make sure that I wash them afterwards if they need to be washed. But I typically don't. However, with that said, if you've got a stencil that has a lot of intricate detail, the more paint that builds up, the less detail you're going to get. So it's not a bad idea to every now and then just give them a bath. In fact, I gave my stencil brushes a bath and put them outside on my car to dry. I live in Georgia. They dried pretty quickly. But I told my husband I need to find like a little beach blanket and one of those little drink umbrellas to make it look like they're outside sunbathing, because that's exactly the way they look like on my car. Okay, but look how that paint will just come right off with that magic eraser. Okay, so that's with the Deco Magic brush and stencil cleaner. I mean, clean your brush, clean your stencil. Can't go wrong with that, right? Now, this one's clean, but I'm going to show you another product. If I have really pesky mediums or paints that I left on, I have to use a little bit of Awesome. Now, Awesome can be super strong, so I just caution you that the smell can go up your nose. It's a little caustic, so I don't want to breathe that in too much. But you can get peskier things off with that. The other is hand sanitizer. So, and then while you're at it, you can use that magic eraser to clean your workstation. And I'm just working on a gray silicone extra large baking mat from Amazon. And I can just clean that up. Okay, so I'm going to share with you just a few of my favorite ways to use stencils, but we're going to start with a few basics. A few basics that if you're like, oh, I love stencils, but I'm horrible at stenciling, that hopefully will give you a little bit more success using them in your art. Okay? So let me just move that. And then you do want to make sure that your stencils are clean and dry before you put them back into the system of organization, whatever it is that you have. We'll put that to the side. All right, I'm going to find, let's see, I have it, I think it's in this one. Because I was looking through my stencils and I found this one I thought would be a great, this one. Okay. And then, now, see this? This is an issue. If you have stencils that are intricate, and then they stick together, this is a great place for that 6x6 origami paper to go right between. I just haven't done it for all of them yet, and I need to. It will keep your stencils. I mean, you spend money on them. They're an investment. They're going to last if you take care of them. All right. So I have that. Oh, and then I want the Tim Holtz, my favorite stencil, houndstooth. That's what that's called, right? It just hit me. Houndstooth. But let's find that Flourish stencil, which is my number one fave, all-time fave. Okay. And we'll put that to the side. And then I want to get, I think I'll use, oh goodness, which one do I want to use? I should have pulled it. We'll use this one. Okay, so just to show you a few things with stencils. So let me back out just a little so you can get a bigger picture. Okay, some things to have on hand when you're stenciling, regardless of what it is you're stenciling on. Your stencils, of course. Blue painter's tape, a low tack tape that will help your stencil stick down. Sometimes when working on paper, it can be a little iffy. So if you take the tape off and I'm just gonna do it here, and just kind of put it on a towel or on your shirt, it'll take some of the tack down, and then it won't stick so much to your surface, but it will help hold your stencil down. So that's important if you don't want your stencil to move while you are stenciling over it. The other thing is, if you only want a section, so say I want that swirl there, but I don't want that there, I can take that tape and mark it off, you know, kind of use it as a mask, just block it off. Now, well, let's see if we can get that up. Blue painter's tape comes in many sizes. You've already seen some of the stencils I have are very intricate. So they have pinstripe, like thin painter's tape on Amazon. I got this, I think it's like a half the size of that one, or no, it's probably even a third of that one. And then even smaller. So just to hold them in place. The other thing, if I find that the tape is just too cumbersome for, let's say like this stencil. How am I going to get this one? Oh, let's get it out, Sandy. How am I going to get this one to stay down? Where am I going to put the tape, right? But what I can use is repositionable glue dots, okay? So repositionable glue dots will help keep my stencil down so that it doesn't move. And I can pick it up and move it where I need to. Okay, and it's going to stay. It's not going to move. In fact, I'll pick that up so you can see. It's not going to come off. All right, so you can use those for, again, more intricate, delicate stencils, and or that don't have a border or much room for you to, and then I just peel them off. The spray adhesive, I don't care for, because it leaves it sticky at the end. And I don't like that. If I'm allowed to post that info, but I can delete it. Huh, I don't know. Oh, scrapbook.com, by all means. Thank you so much, Lisa, for sharing that. Absolutely, share away. Okay, so what I wanted to show you, basics of stenciling. When you go to stencil, it doesn't have to be the entire stencil. You can use pieces and parts. All right. Now, let's tape it in place. And I will show you my favorite way to stencil. Let's get a pretty color, which is one of my favorites, DecoArt Media Quinacridone Magenta. And we will load up Stencil Pro, so this is a 1/2 inch. I'm just gonna get that. I washed them all, bathed them, and let them sunbathe to dry. So I am a firm believer that when you take care of your materials, first off, they're going to last longer. It's an investment. Brushes are an investment. Stencils are an investment. Stamps are an investment. Take care of them, they'll last much longer. Soft paper towel. If you use, like I use Bounty in my kitchen, I would not use Bounty on my brushes. I do splurge and I get the softer Viva paper towels. Shop towels are great as well. Something that's soft that's not going to break the bristle. All right. So I will take my paper towel, dry, load up my brush, swirl it around, and then I come over here and I wipe almost all of it off. Now, if I want it a little darker, I don't have to wipe as much off, but it's easier to build up your layer of color than it is to clean up a huge mess, which I'm going to show you, if you don't wipe off your brush. Okay? Soft circular motions, counterclockwise, clockwise. The reason you change directions is it picks up any paint that's built up going one way and takes it the other way. So soft, very light pressure. I'm not pushing hard. I only start to push a little bit harder when I feel like I'm running out of paint. Okay? So light, light, light. I still hold it. Even though it's taped, I still hold it in that section. All right. Now, you can lift it because it's taped in place to see. And I love the variation of color. To make it darker, let it dry. I suggest once it's taped, if you want to dry it, you can dry it with your heat tool. I would lift it and dry it instead of drying it over my stencil because heat and plastic don't really go great together. Okay, now if I wanted to make this darker, I feel like I still have enough paint on my brush. I'm just going to push a little bit harder. And that pressure is going to take more of that paint that it didn't even look like we had. Look how thin that is. Didn't even look like we had that much on there. But it's going to take that and it's going to make it even much stronger. So building up your layers is much easier than doing the messy stenciling of I'm going to load that brush up and I'm going to come here and I'm just going to run it right over. If you don't mind uneven edges or it bleeding underneath, okay, nicer, softer. I could build up to the intensity of that color, but I can't clean up that mess. It's just a mess. So very helpful to wipe off your brush and then stencil and build up your layer of color. Okay, I'm just going to dry off a lot of that excess paint because I don't want that to come through on my next little thing I'm going to show. So that's one way. Again, with this stencil, I do love to turn it over so that elements go the opposite direction. Because you might not want your swirls going that way. They might need to go this way for your design. So just flip it, okay? Now, stencils that have an edge when you're stenciling, if they have that flat edge and you know you're going to carry it on, just go slightly to it, but don't go all the way to it. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's zoom in so you can see that clear. Okay, so see that straight edge? I went toward it, but not to it. Then I can decide, okay, I'm going to come down here and I think that's going to line up there. That way you don't end up with a harsh line right across your stencil. And then again, pick right up where you left off to carry on that design. Okay, they're intended for you to make that as long as you need it, as wide as you need it. But again, the tip is to go to that line toward the line, but not right on it, not to it. So you have that soft transition, okay? So that's one thing I love to do. Again, tape your stencil down, load up your brush, wipe almost all the paint off, do your design, let it dry, stencil more on top if you want it more intense. Don't be afraid to turn those stencils over and use the other side so that your design moves a different way. This is messy, hard to clean up, especially on paper, and just crisper, softer, but can be more intense and bold if I needed it to be. All right, now let's just flip that over. And what I wanted to show you, oh, and parcher, I've done that as well. One of those plastic ornaments, and I took my heat tool to dry it, and like the whole side caved in. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a CD wood. So cdstencils.com, cdwood.com, you can go to their stencils, but it's a chain link background. Now, you might need, let's just do that right there. And I'll show you the difference. Okay, soft circular motion. Did I tape it down? No. And oftentimes I am too lazy. I'll just do this. But then when it shifts, I'm mad at myself that I didn't tape it down. So always a good idea to tape it down in place. Okay. Now, if I wanted another color, let's say I wanted some cobalt teal hue. I'll put some of that on there. Again, load it up. I could have used a different brush, but I just put it on that brush. And I'm going to maybe just stencil the bottoms, like bottom half. Okay, kind of get a little bit of that ombre, different colors here and there. But one of my favorite ways to use stencils is to layer them. Okay, now I could come here and do that blue right over top. Oops, that one's got something in it. When you're working in mixed media, you know, layers matter. And so if your stenciling is really dark to begin with, and you want to lighten it, a wash of white paint or gesso over it will help. But again, you know, just layering so that you have that design going on. But what I want to show you is something really cool, and that is layering your stencils. Okay, and I'm going to just switch to black. Now what's going to happen is, actually I want to switch those. I want that to be my design, and I'm going to lay this on top. And I'm going to stencil over both of them. Again, very handy if you tape it, Sandy. Do as I say, not as I do, right? So whatever stencil you have on the bottom is going to be your shape, and that scroll work is broken up by that shape. Now, I could come back in and lay that down and stencil over if I want to. But I do want to show you on this honeycomb, same thing. Get a different piece of paper. And then we will try and think if I want that below or above. I think I want that above. I probably won't do all of it, just to show you. See, and it does it in that shape. So, super cool. With a stencil like this that's very thin and intricate, you have a couple of options. You could stencil in one space like that, right? And do your design. Or you can take a smaller stencil brush, and I think on my honeycomb Be Happy lesson on YouTube, I did this technique. So again, small Stencil Pro brush, and I just want to stencil over the line. I love, love, love doing this technique where it's just soft and smoky and not full on color or coverage. Okay, now look at that. Quite the difference, right? Now, I could lay that. Actually, let's get a different one. Let's do something like that, like snakeskin. Again, load it up, swirl it around, wipe it off. Okay, just laid it right over top that one. How cool is that? Again, it went just in that area. So again, really cool way to use your stencil. It doesn't always have to be solid. Doesn't always have to be the full thing. You might just want to do, you know, a border down a journal page or on your artwork with just the honeycomb coming down the edge, you know, and it's soft and subtle, but it's there, right? So now I'm going to find a word stencil. I have plenty. Let's get Paris. So this is a Studio R12, and it is STL 1415-1. See, it's a little difficult to read those, but Studio R12, fantastic stencils by Patty Rawlinson and her crew. So I like to layer and do shadows with my stencils. So I'm going to do the quinacridone magenta first. Let's get a different stencil brush. So, all right. That. Okay, so I loaded it up with the quinacridone magenta, wiped it off on my paper towel. I'm going to put this over that because I do not want that to get paint on it. And if your words or your design goes right close to the edge, it's not a bad idea to tape around it so that you're only getting the paint where you want it. All right, soft circular motions. Counterclockwise, clockwise. As the paint starts to dissipate and you see that it's getting lighter and lighter, add a little more pressure to your brush, change your direction. And if it's very intricate, like on this one, I'll show you when we do this in a second, you have to slow down. If not, it has so many thin, delicate pieces that it's not going to do you any favors if you try and go real fast. So just think about how long it would take you to draw that out and paint it. Just take a little time to stencil it on so that you have a nice crisp image, okay? Now, as much as I love to use stencils, I don't like the look of word stencils. So I do like to come in with a brush, and I'll just get a little bit of water in my brush, make it inky. Sometimes you have to do this in layers. You don't want to do it too heavy. You want it to match your letter, but these bridges, so that the letter actually has some shape on your stencil, you know, the maker has to put those little bridges in for you. I like to just fill them in. So again, take your time, and if it's a little on the thin side and you can see that separation, let it dry, come back, and you can add another coat, okay? But that will take away that look of it being a stencil. So let's dry that just a little. Okay, now we're going to lift that up and I'm going to line it back up, but this time I'm going to shift it. You can shift it left, right, up, down, however you want to. I'm going to actually shift mine up slightly and to the right. Okay, and then lay it in place, tape it. I'm going to use that same brush. Am I going to use that same brush? I'm going to use that same brush. And I'm going to add a little bit of white. I just answered my own question. We'll put a little white there. Add a little bit of white to it to make that pink lighter. And then wipe it off on my paper towel. Apply a little more white. Soft circular motions, counterclockwise, clockwise. I am not looking at the comments because I know I will squirrel, get distracted. Where is the flower stencil? So Judy, this flower stencil, even though I just said I wasn't gonna look at the comments, this one is the Crafters Workshop, and I have that on my website actually. Okay, so how cool is that? You just created a shadow for your word. Now, I want that to be a little bit more opaque, so I will go back and add another layer, but I also want to come in and fill in those bridges because again, I don't want it to look like it was a stencil. Anything I can use that's going to help me be more productive and have a prettier piece. And again, when it comes to words, I'd much rather have a stencil than have to write it out. All right. And then we'll put it back on. Now, if I wanted that to show up even brighter, you can use a makeup sponge. You can use a sponge dauber. Do I have one? I do. Because it's got that texture, it's going to leave texture in your stenciling. So I want to show you my cover because I did use a sponge. See all the puckering and pock marks and stuff, which is super cool, but it will leave texture on your letters, okay? So, but you can use a brush. I'm just going to load this with white now. I just grabbed a new brush, loaded it with white. You can pounce it. Not my favorite way. I have arthritis in my hands, and it just, I don't know, it just does not feel good. I love that soft circular sweeping motion, but I could come in and I'll do the S with my pounce so that you can see. I loaded it with white, but I still wiped off the excess paint. And then I'm going to do my soft circular motion on these so that you can see the difference. You'll definitely get a more opaque look with the pouncing. It's just not my favorite way. Okay. Super cool. Love, love, love. Alrighty. Now, put that to the side and it'll get a bath later. When it comes to these, again, this is what I was talking about. They're a little tricky on the size, the delicacy, how delicate they are. They're quite delicate. So you want to be careful. If I need to change my color, let's go from this one. If I need to change my color and I only have one stencil brush, hand sanitizer works great. So, little hand sanitizer. You can switch between colors. rinse it out with that hand sanitizer, because you don't want to put this in water. It's going to absorb, especially if you've got a natural bristle stencil brush, it's going to absorb that water. I know there are some out there that are awesome that you do not have to, you can just rinse them, dry them off, and they're going to be fine. I don't like to submerge mine in water other than when I wash them. So I will just do my hand sanitizer trick, wipe it off, unless it's, if I go to black, it doesn't matter. Black's going to be stronger than that pink, right? All right, so careful with a stencil like this. You can use the glue dots if you want to hold it down. Let's just I'll put them on, and then wherever it is, I'll make sure that it's folded so it doesn't leave a mark on my thing. Okay, so we'll put that down there. Okay, so I'm going to load that brush up with some cobalt teal hue. Hello, Betty. Let me see what Robin's thing was. She said, Sandy, I mean, do you need to go slow with the doily? Yes, with those doily stencils, you definitely want to go slow, or even a paper doily, because again, it's very delicate. And if you're just going in, you know, with gusto, this stencil is going to fall apart. I could easily break that right there. Okay. Same thing with letters that might have a little delicate spot on them. You just want to be careful. So just slow your roll as you're swirling, or I should say slow your swirl. And I'm just going to go up and back down. And the reason on this one I'm going up and back down, if I just keep going, you know, really hard swirls, again, that could break or it's going to move. I'm going to work up that petal, and I'm going to flow with the shape of that stencil. All right. Now, I have those glue dots, so it's going to, okay. So nice and delicate and intricate. I do love these stencils that are cut out like this, that you can go in right along that edge. Super cool, right? And again, just want to be careful when you're washing that one. Remove the glue dots, or you could leave them on and attach it to a white piece of, you know, computer paper, origami paper, cut down to the 6x6. But stencils like this, I definitely like to separate them from my others so that they don't get ruined. All right. So I think I could sit here and go on, like I said, till 9 o'clock tonight. A ton of ideas and ways to create with stencils. But what I plan to do, because I had so many ideas I wrote in my book, what I plan to do is do little shorts, like a 3-minute or 5-minute little something, like how to do that. Or let's come back up here. How to triple layer your stencils, how to use it as a border, how to use it as a full background, how to tone it down if you want to tone it down. And so little short 3 to 5 minutes, because let me just tell you, my list was long. It was long. So let's see, I've been watching while I was having my nails done, and I couldn't comment until now. Oh, no problem, Janet. I've got to get mine done. So, yeah, the glue dots are awesome because, again, you're able to reposition them and move it as you need to. It's not going to, again, the spray for me, it might work for you. The spray for me, the stencil just remains tacky and sticky. Now you probably could run some baby powder or cornstarch over it to get rid of that. But the way that I store my stencils don't work for that because it sticks to the paper. So repositionable glue dots, low tack tape to keep them down, good stencil brushes. I cannot stress that enough. These are my favorite. And I have to say, I used to use the, I don't have any right here, because I moved them all. When Dynasty came out with the Stencil Pro, I used to use just the natural hair bristle stencil brush that they had, and I liked it. It was my go-to stencil brush. But the Stencil Pros are a game changer. This is a synthetic bristle. It puts the paint on beautifully. It's easy to change between colors with a little hand sanitizer, and even when you do have to wash them, they don't stay wet as long, especially if you live in the South. Well, right now, if you live anywhere where it's hot, and it's hot plenty of places, right? So just set them outside and let them sunbathe for a while. So anyway, but yes, I've got to get my nails done because next week, which way do I move? Moving the right way. So that welcome to our home. I will be in Las Vegas. I fly out next Sunday. Cannot wait to see my friends. I know Janet and Laura are going to be there, but and so many others at the Society of Decorative Painters 50th convention. I am going to share lots with you guys while I'm there here on my Sandy McTeer Designs page and probably on my YouTube channel. But I will not have a live next Sunday because next Sunday I'm going to be driving to the airport. So let me see on here. I've got to look through the bottom of my glasses. So this is the date of my next live. So save the date, mark it down. I am hoping to have my stacked teacup fall design finished. But I also have another thing that's been in the works that I might share with you guys. And then, like I said, I will be sharing lots more on my YouTube channel. Also videos with DecoArt and lessons using the DecoArt Impasto acrylics. Again, if you missed that lesson, look at the dimension on those clouds and how it hangs over the edge. I love it. Now, I did come back in and I shaded a little underneath the wave. I shaded with some fluid acrylics just to make it stand out a little bit more. But I do plan to share more of that with you guys. So anyway, I hope those ideas inspired you guys. Carol, you're driving to Las Vegas? Oh my goodness, you guys be safe. That's a long drive. I used to do it every year as a kid. Well, Southern California to Asheville, North Carolina, and then up to DC to visit my grandparents. So that's a long drive, but y'all be safe, and I can't wait to see you and your cousin, Carol. So excited that you guys are going to be there. So I'm teaching a DecoArt special event. That's the special event, the Welcome to Our Home. And I just saw a question that says, where can I get do you organize your stamps in a similar way? Judy, yes, I do. I do a reference book and I organize them all like my Stampendous there on the other side of the room, or I'll grab them. I just didn't want this to be like 4 hours. But maybe I should do one on my stamps. And I love sharing where I get ideas from too, because I think that's important. So all of those ideas have just like come, but the reference book idea, I saw Diane Reevely. Was it Diane Reevely? No, it wasn't. It was Dina Wakely. Amazing artist. Both of them are. But Dina Wakely did a book with her stamps. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to do that with my stencils so that I can find them. So anyway, just a great reference. Keep one for your stencils. Keep one for your stamps. And you'll know exactly where to find them. So my stamps, same thing. All my Stampendous I keep in one. All of mine I keep in another. The Tim Holtz stamps, all the same. Keep them organized. Reference book, index, can go find it when I need it. So it just makes it so much more rewarding to create when you know where everything is, right? Because see these drawers behind me on this dresser? That's where most of them used to be. And I'd have to dig through, and digging through takes time, and it takes time away from me painting and being creative. So anyway, hope that filled you guys with a bunch of information. If you're on Facebook and you gave stars, thank you so very much. On YouTube, again, thank you, Sue Potts, for that donation. That money will all go to the World's Health Kitchen, and I cannot wait till we can tally that up like we did before, and let's just hope that it's another $500 and something to share to a worthy cause. So All right, guys, I just put all of my stencils and stamps in a lateral file cabinet by subject. I just need to work on the reference book. Fantastic, Chris. Yes, and with that said, let me tell you guys, if you, why not? Judy, what's your question? It just says, why not? If you have a way that you love to store your stencils, put it in the comments here. Let me see. If you do this system, make sure to tag me or write down in the comments, you know, your way of doing it and your pictures. Share with us, because again, a small little idea that you share I might go, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. And so other people might go, oh my gosh, I didn't think of all those things. And so we're a community, right? Let's just be a community that helps and shares and promotes art, because I don't know about y'all, but if I don't paint, I can definitely feel it. And even after this past week where my painting was ugly and everything just about went in the trash, I still know that I am creative and that I can create. And there are many different ways that I can create. And when I need to do something like this that helps me later create and paint, it's all part of it. So anyway, I just wanted to see what Judy's thing was. Why not? Not sure. Because on YouTube, I can't go back and answer questions, which I don't like. I wish I could. Facebook, I can. So, and it looks like the glitching kind of stopped, which is awesome, right? So yes, I will share lots from Vegas with you guys. And then, like I said, August 14th is my next live. So save that date right there. Again, same bat channel, same bat time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And appreciate you guys being here, and get out those brushes, get out that paint, get out those stencils and create something this week and have fun. If you're stressed, creating's going to help that. If you're sad, creating's going to help that. If you're happy, creating's going to help that. It really is much cheaper than therapy. So anyway, have a great day, you guys. And for all my friends that are going to Vegas, I can't wait to see you. 4-hour class on tips. Got it. Well, because probably after 2 hours, you guys are ready to bug out. And I know that I have got a studio to finish cleaning so that I can be done at 6 o'clock, because that is going to be my new time. Got to set some office hours for myself. So hopefully I encouraged you guys to be creative this week. Do a little something, organize those stencils, stamps, whatever it is that you have. And while you might think it's taking away from you creating something, it actually is going to help you save time when you sit down to create. So, all right, guys, have a good one. Can you show us the container for your stamps? I can't, Pat, because it's on the other side of my room, but I definitely will, because I probably will do something along these lines, even if they're just little shorts on my YouTube channel and Facebook page, to share with you guys how I store those as well. All right. Have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Bye. I'm going to see what I have up here. Okay. Oh, right there. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you don't already. And that bell. The bell is going to notify you when I go live, hopefully. And then on YouTube, if you're watching me on, on Facebook, and you gave stars, thank you so very much. Now, in addition to liking my page, you want to go to the 3 little dots at the top of my page and make sure that you also follow me. Follow is going to give you notifications. You can also change your notifications for my page if you'd like, but I believe those 3 dots are going to help you. All right. Okay, guys, have a fantastic, fantastic week. And remember that if you are shopping on my site, I have a sale that goes through midnight tonight. I can't see out of my glasses. I have to look through the bottom. My sale on my website ends tonight at midnight. You can use that discount code to get an additional discount. And then the prices are going to go back up tomorrow. So brush prices have gone up, paint has gone up, brushes have gone up. Stencils have gone up, but I really try and keep it low and get it shipped out as soon as possible. And I've been shipping orders, let me tell you. So, in fact, I have a whole table full that I need to pack up tomorrow morning, because I'm done at 6. Okay. See y'all later. Bye.